17 million people live in the United States, and a great number of them don't grasp what today means. Kids and adults across America think of Memorial Day as another day off school or work. A lot of them don't completely understand that this day is meant to honor the ultimate sacrifices that men and women of our armed services have made for our freedom, for the liberties we enjoy, and for our way of life. Memorial Day is intended to thank those who laid down their lives for the sake of the things we hold dear. It is a day to pay respect to all the American veterans in our history that gave up their tomorrows so we may have today. The origin of Memorial Day all depends on the stories you hear and which ones you want to believe, but one thing for sure is it was called Decoration Day first. In the days of the Civil War and afterwards, graves were often decorated with flowers. However, it was more of a local observation than a national one. One of the first major decoration days was celebrated on May 30th, 1868, when future President James Garfield gave a speech to some 5,000 people at Arlington National Cemetery. The first use of the term Memorial Day was reported to have taken place in 1882, but it was not universally used or accepted. Over the years, the United States has found herself involved in more conflicts across the globe, and Americans were asked to put themselves in harm's way, sometimes for ourselves and sometimes for people who cannot do it for themselves. Finally, in 1964, Memorial Day became an official national holiday to be celebrated the last Monday in May, to honor those who never returned home. Coming from a military background, I know that on Memorial Day, nothing makes a veteran more proud than people flying their flags high and celebrating the ones that sacrificed their lives. My dad served in the Army for 4.5 years, and every Memorial Day, I reflect and think I am so lucky he returned home, as many aren't as fortunate. As I stand before you all today, and we are surrounded by headstones, I am reminded that America is fortunate to have such brave men and women in our country. I reflect on books and movies about veteran stories, and although it caused pain and suffering in their lives, most have no regrets. I had the pleasure of taking part in King High Remembers this year at my school and met a very special individual by the name of John Klein. Mr. Klein was a radio operator in Vietnam. He told my partner and I that he doesn't regret any part of going in the service and would do it all again. Now, despite what I said that so many people truly don't understand what this day itself means, the truth is we celebrate this day every day. We hear the celebration in the Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem. We see the honoring of their sacrifice when we vote. When I sit in every one of my classes, I experience a sense of thanks that I have been given a free public education. Every time we speak out against tyranny or injustice, we are celebrating Memorial Day. When the flag goes up the pole every day, it's Memorial Day. And besides the celebration of this day, how do we pay these brave people back? We do it by preserving their sacrifice in our memories, by taking advantage of the liberties given to us to be the best we can be as a nation and as individuals, by taking the responsibility of leadership, and by facing down the enemies that would see us fail. So in going back to my question, why do we celebrate Memorial Day? I'm not saying that you shouldn't have big barbecues and friends and family over. I'm saying as you do it, think about the sacrifices people have made for you, so that you may do it freely. We celebrate this day because this day tells us who we are as Americans, and it pays tribute to, as Abraham Lincoln said in the Gettysburg Address, those who gave their last true measure of devotion so that their nation might live. That's why we celebrate Memorial Day. Thank you.